You want my honest opinion? I think League isn't so much about macro. I don't think it's so much about skill. I don't think it's so much about laning. I don't think it's so much about mid-game and late game. I don't think it's so much about item choices or champions. I don't think it's so much about any of that. You know what I think League is about? It's about being on the team that doesn't get caught and killed. See, in my opinion, here's my opinion. I'm gonna give it to Kane. Fuck it. Kane did good. Good job, Kane. It's kind of fucky when you think about it, because I feel like high elo players often aren't actually the best. And I'm not talking about like high elo. Like I'm talking about like the challenger, high master players, you know, like the best of the best. I feel very, very often the best of the best players are actually quite bad at understanding the game. And very often it's actually just like, I'm not talking about you, Twitch. I'm not talking about like you guys. I'm talking about like people like Dunkey who actually understand the game. Because I remember Dunkey quit in what, season 5 was it? And what did he say? I always remember the exact reason, because he actually gave like a rational argument to why he was quitting and why the game wasn't fun anymore. He gave like a very rational and reasoned argument, and then everyone memed that he quit because he didn't get unbanned. But his argument was actually that the game was mostly about wasting time until you get to the mid to late game, at which point whichever team doesn't get caught ends up winning. And I feel like that's always kind of been how League is, but think of League as like a sandwich. It's just 2 pieces of bread, right? That's League. It's 2 pieces of bread. And we put all this meat and cheese and shit on it to try to like spice it up. But at the end of the day, it's still those 2 pieces of bread. And those 2 pieces of bread are whichever team doesn't get caught in the late game ends up winning. You're misunderstanding. Dunkey did, you know, I'm sure we could go watch the video, but basically he started off, and here's the thing with Dunkey. Dunkey was actually very upfront and honest that he was like, okay, so I did something, they wouldn't unban me, and then I realized that I really didn't care. Like, that's basically how it was for him, is that he realized that once he was banned, that he really just didn't care. And then he had this epiphany that it was just about getting caught late game anyway, that his friends weren't having fun, blah, 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 blah. 7 minutes.
I'm done making League of Legends videos. I'm sorry to my fans that only watch my League videos, but please, go watch my other videos. I put so much work into them, and they're honestly way better. I came to this decision when I was playing ranked for my new video where I was gonna get diamond. Somehow we actually won this match, and then I was 2 points shy of a series when I encountered this player. This Malphite would just run down everybody's lane and feed kills until he was 0-9. We also had a Bard mid. We also had that going, and it was at this time that I called this Malphite a fucking worthless, brain-dead, scumfuck bastard, pile of trash, mental dick face that should be gunned down in the street like the degenerate he is. Now, there is so much wrong with this. First, why am I being banned for talking shit in a video game? I can understand being banned for cheating, or going AFK a bunch of times, or picking Orianna AD carry, or feeding on purpose, but talking shit to some guy that is a total dumbass? What is this, fucking pussy-ass baby preschool time? Talking shit is probably one of the only fun parts of this boring-ass game. I might as well just play the bots if you want people to act like robots, Riot. I wonder if they understand that the root of toxicity is the game. It's just not fun, and it pisses people off. Let me be serious here. League of Legends doesn't work as a competitive game or a fun party game to play with your friends. As of today, I have more than 8,000 matches played on this game, so I have some legitimate grounds to review the game on. Landing phase. The other guy sits under his turret and farms creeps for 20 minutes. Then the rest of the game is both teams walking around the map, accomplishing nothing until some dumbass gets caught. That's every match in a nutshell. The death timers are too short. The bounty system punishes you for doing good. The turrets are fucking annoying. The rank system doesn't work at all. Most of this is just the game constantly inhibiting how good you can actually do. In any great competitive video game, there are so many techniques and opportunities for a great player to just whoop some ass. In League, you don't really have those options, and because
Twitch, I can't lock in. I can't lock in. What the f? I guess we're going back to Dunkey.
Because this game wants to cater to the biggest audience possible to make the most money, like Call of Duty, it's just gonna stay that way forever. And that's what I feel like I'm doing with my League videos. Even though my appreciation for this game is waning all the time, and I want to hit you guys with all these different kinds of videos, I've stuck with it because I know my fans want to see me play League. Now, I know some of you out there like, but Dunkey, what about the pro players? Now, please understand this. Pro League of Legends has absolutely nothing to do with real League of Legends. The pros are in matches where all 10 guys are amazing at the game. In real League of Legends, there's going to be 3 decent guys and 7 retards. At its best, League is just something to play in the background while you talk to your friends, but a lot of the time it's either too frustrating or monotonous. If my friends actually get into it and try to win, they'll just get mad at each other and start yelling, get into an argument. But most of the time, people just keep alt-tabbing out of the game and pay very little attention to the actual game, you know? It just isn't engaging. And then the match stretches into the 40, 50-minute mark, and nobody cares at all at that point. The matches just go on for way too long every time. So I'm not enjoying the game. Nobody I'm playing with is enjoying it. But I still really wanted to finish this video up for you guys, because, you know, once I get all the footage assembled and I've accomplished what I set out to do for the video, that's when I have my fun, making it come to life, you know, doing the editing, putting in the voiceover. That's the payoff for me. That's the enjoyable part. And I've been consistently putting out League videos since I started out on YouTube. So I emailed Riot. I said, hey, can you guys unban me so I can finish this video up? Now keep in mind, during my whole career of being the top guy promoting their game for 4 years, Riot has done almost nothing to help me out or promote me, and I emailed them for this first and only favor, and they respond to me, nope, you're toxic. And this is when I realized that this company doesn't appreciate me at all, or anything I stand for. I think multiplayer games should reward the time and practice you put into them, and that you should be able to call other people scumfuck bastards and connect with your friends and have fun playing with them. And League of Legends offers none of these things, so I'm done with it. I'm done playing League of Legends. I'll continue to play video games and make videos because it's...
Yeah, but you see, Twitch, you see, like, that's the point of the video. Do you see how, like, he actually makes a very, very good argument? So, like, he's a platinum player, but the thing is, and in my opinion, and really understand this, I feel like a lot of people who play this game slowly realize that it's all bullshit, that it's actually just a terrible game. And, I mean, that's kind of it, right? Like, I feel like the MOBA genre outpaced itself. By trying to make it so competitive, by trying to make it so amazing that everyone should join it, they kind of ruined itself. You know what I mean? Like, does anyone kind of feel like that? Like, the days of, I always bring this up. I had this friend, right? And tell me if this sounds familiar to you. Not, like I'm not saying if all the details match up perfectly and everything is the same. I'm saying, tell me if this sounds familiar to you. I had a friend who came over, this must have been like 5 years ago. Maybe 6 years ago. I think this must have been season 2. So this must have been 6 years ago. So 6 years ago, I had this friend and he was talking to me and he was like, oh, you played League? I played League too. And then he told me about his AP Amumu and how he had this awesome AP Amumu that he could bring out and it would win every game when he played it. And that's kind of how I feel about League, you know? When it was a game where you had this thing that maybe was weird, but like, you know, it was fun and you got behind it and it was, you know, blah, blah, blah. That's how I feel League was at its prime. Nowadays, everyone tries so hard. I mean, first off, there's your first thing. Everyone tries so hard. You know, even in NA, it's very rare that I'm going to fight an opposing top laner. And maybe you're going to say, oh, but Hashinshin, you're playing Jax and Aurelia. Fine. But I actually have fun with those champions. And I've played those champions when they're bad, when they're good, whenever. So don't fucking fault me on that one. It's not about trying in ranked. In my opinion, it's wacky things like, yeah, the items really lack, like, punch. You know what I mean? What's the right way to put it? Like, back in the day, your items didn't synergize with each other so hard. So each item kind of was, like, its own niche thing. If that makes sense to you. Like, you could buy Deathfire Grasp without building full AP itemization. You could build a Force of Nature randomly as a mage. You know, Mord would do that, for example. But nowadays, items synergize with each other. I mean, Look at AP itemization. Void Staff gives 40% magic pen, and also Death Cap gives 40% bonus ability power. Like, if you build one AP item, you might as well fucking build Void Staff and Death Cap at that point. And if you're building Void Staff and Death Cap, why don't you build Hourglass so you can use Hourglass between your cooldowns? And if you're gonna do that, why don't you build a mana item with cooldown reduction? So, and then all of a sudden you notice, wait a second, I'm building the same fucking build on every champion. Over time, what is optimal has been found and pushed to the level where anything less than the best options available out you at a massive disadvantage. I think you said put you, but okay. Yeah, I would say that's true. I would say bruisers have suffered this more than anyone. Bruisers used to have the most diverse and interesting itemization. Do you go Trinity full tank? Does your full tank include a Frozen Mallet? Do you go Guardian Angel? Do you do Warmogs? Do you do Omen? Do you do, you know, even as far back as season 5, you had like Dead Man's Plate, you had Sterig's Gauge, you know, being these wacky items you could throw in there. Like, I remember Olaf would go Black Cleaver, Titanic Hydra, Maw, Dead Man's, you know, it was like, oh, you know, we got these wacky fucking options you can do. I think bruisers are not really a relic. Yeah, I mean, maybe you could say they're a relic of the game past. I would say the problem with bruisers is Riot has specialized the game really fucking hard. Like, what's the right way to put this? It used to be that you could play a bruiser, and I remember there were games where Aurelia. I remember one game in particular. They were fighting an Ashe. It was a competitive game. It was whoever was TSM's AD carry. It might have been Wild Turtle or whoever the fuck was before. It doesn't matter. That's not important. Okay. The opposing Aurelia. This is like season 2 Aurelia. Okay. This is like pre-rework. This is season fucking 2. Okay. She built a Frozen Mallet into full tank. That was it. It was like Frozen Mallet, Frozen Heart, Omen, Guardian Angel. Like, that was it. Okay. And all she did, she maxed Q. No, sorry, she didn't max Q. She maxed W. She maxed E. And all she did is she just queued into the Ashe and then just sat on her and auto attacked. That's all she did. She just fucking sat on the Ashe and auto attacked. Like, that was her build. Like, she was like, I understand this situation completely.